What's up, guys? Welcome to Fitness Friday episode 3. Sorry I missed the last few weeks, but as you know, I was away in Greece with Alex and the internet was really slow at the hotel, so there wasn't any way to upload, and I didn't really have that much time to film because we were enjoying our vacation. But we're picking it back up for this week. So this week's episode, we're gonna take a look at some exercises to help strengthen and tone our legs and our core. We're gonna look at 4 different exercises for our legs and 4 different exercises for our core. By the way, sorry I'm squinting so much, but it's really sunny out today, but that's why I decided to film outside because it's such a nice day. All right, let's get started.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit.
Okay, so the first exercise we're gonna look at for our legs is a squat. So when you're doing a squat, the first thing you wanna do is position your feet and your legs properly. So you can go anywhere from hip width apart to slightly larger. I personally are more comfortable going hip width apart with my legs, but if you wanna go a little bit wider, that's okay too. Just make sure your feet turn out a little bit. Because if you put your feet wide, but you keep your feet straight, when you go down, you're gonna put torque in your knees and you might hurt yourself. So you can position like this, or you can position like this. Don't position closer, and don't position too wide. I'm gonna do it this way. As you're going down, you need to make sure of 2 things. First thing you need to make sure is your knees do not come in towards you, and also that your knees don't bend out to the sides. You wanna try as best as you can to keep your knees directly over your feet. So if we look at a side view, you're also not bringing your knees all the way in front of your toes. You're trying as best as you can to keep your knees right over your feet. If it goes a little bit forward, that's okay, but you don't want to bring your knees all the way forward. That's going to put too much strain in your knee. When you're descending, you have to try to keep your back braced, so that means you're not arching it all the way, and you're not letting it round all the way. You're trying to keep it nice and straight, nice and tight, with your chest out high. So as you descend, you're staying in that position. You don't curl forward and you don't bend all the way forward. Just stay nice and braced, nice and straight, chest out, and then descend down. What to do with your arms, you can do whatever you like. And as you get better and you start adding weight, you'll have your hands up here holding a bar. But for now, you can go arms across the chest, arms out straight in front, hands on your hips, whatever you want. I'm gonna go arms on my shoulders with my elbows out. So we keep our back tight, chest is sticking out high, our knees and our legs are in the right position, and we descend down just into the portion where our upper leg is parallel to the floor. If you want to go lower, that's fine, but you need to make sure you have the flexibility, but you shouldn't be just going up here. At least parallel to the floor, and then all the way back up. Okay, so if we look at it from the front, arms on our shoulders, elbows out, chest high, our back is braced. We make sure our knees aren't going in, and we make sure our knees aren't going out. So we descend down to parallel, and then back up. Descend down to parallel, and then back up. So when you're first starting out with body weight squats, you should try to build yourself up to be able to do 20 reps in a row. Once you're able to consistently do 20 reps in a row, you can start adding small weight, either by holding it in your hand, holding it across your chest, and build up from there. Every time you reach 20 reps with a certain amount of weight, you can always increase the weight a little bit. But as long as you're keeping the reps high and you're not adding too much weight, well then all you're gonna be doing is toning your legs and building a little bit of strength. You won't need to worry about adding too much size to your legs and adding too much muscle. Okay, so the next exercise we're gonna look at is lunges, which is essentially the same thing as a squat. You're looking for all the same details, but you're going one leg at a time. So back's nice and braced, chest is out nice and high. You can go hands on your hips for balance, step forward, down into a lunge, and then step back. When you're doing a lunge, you're trying to make a perfect square under your legs as best as you can. So up here, 90-degree angle with your knee, and then 90-degree angle with your hip. You don't want to be stretched out in front with your knee over your toes, but you also don't want to be back here with a wide angle in your knee. So you're trying as best as you can to make it a perfect square. There's a couple of different ways you can do lunges. You can do one leg, step back, and then switch to the other leg. Or you can stay down and do multiple lunges on the same leg. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can start jump switching from leg to leg. You can always put your foot up on something higher and then do your lunge. There's a bunch of different variations you can do. And just like the squat, you can add a little bit of weight to your lunges, holding it on the side, and try to keep the reps at about 20, so 10 per leg. Okay, so the next exercise we're gonna look at is a hamstring lift. So you're gonna start on the ground, back pressed against the ground, arms beside you, and all you're gonna do is squeeze your butt and squeeze your hamstrings and lift your body up into a straight bridge. Just doing this, you should feel the tension in your butt and your hamstrings, but if you want to take it a step further, you could always put your back on something elevated, like a chair or a bench, so that way you're even higher. You can add weight and hold it on your stomach and lift that up, or when you're holding it on the top, you can alternate lifting one leg at a time, and then you'll feel it much more in the leg that's still on the ground. So this is a great exercise for toning up the back of your leg and your butt without adding too much muscle. Okay, so the next exercise we're gonna look at, it's just sort of a combination of a few different exercises. So first thing you need to do is find something that's somewhat heavy. So for demonstration purposes and just to show how easy it is, I took 2 shopping bags and filled it with some wet towels. So it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too heavy. Anything that you can find around the house, you can fill a bag with bricks, with water bottles, with anything that adds a little bit of weight. So we're combining a few exercises here, like I said, but the main goal is to not use our arms too much. We're just trying to make our arms an extension of the bag. So we're just keeping our arms straight and just letting them hang. So we're gonna take a much wider stance than we did when we did our squats. So make sure your toes are turned outward slightly. You're gonna bend your knees and your back a little bit, but just like the squat, we're not rounding our back. We're trying to keep it braced. As you lift forward, you're going to push your hips forward. You're gonna thrust your hips forward and swing the weight in front of you. So it looks like this. As you do this, you're not only lifting your back, you're not only standing up straight, but you're also pushing your hips forward by squeezing your butt and squeezing behind your legs. So we'll do it again. Down, back nice and straight, swing forward, and squeeze. 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 So you'll notice you're not going as deep as a squat, but you're also bending over a little bit more. So it's not upright like this, it's a little bit more forward, a little bit higher with your butt, and swing forward and squeeze. Like I said, one thing to watch out for, you're not starting and lifting with your arms and then just standing out. You're keeping your arms loose, just holding onto the weight, and it's just an extension. So your arms are just loose, as if your arm is part of the bag. You're not lifting at all with your arms. A couple of different ways you can do this. If you're at a gym and there's a cable machine, you can adjust the cables to fit through your legs, hold on to a handle, and pull it that way. That's an easy way to adjust how much weight you're using. Or if you have stretch cords at your house, you can tie it to something stable and pull the stretch cord through your legs. It's the same idea. As long as you're pushing your hips forward, squeezing your butt, and swinging at the same time.
A past so filled with promise. Before I lost my way.
So now we're gonna take a look at some core exercises. When we talk about core, we're not just talking about our abs, you're talking about everything that's in your midsection. So you're talking about your abs in front, but on the side, your oblique muscles, your stabilizing muscles, and all the way around your back, working everything that's around your spine. So all of that is included in your core. The first exercise we're gonna look at is just a simple plank. And there's many ways that you can do a plank, and you can progress from easier up to harder. So an easier step would be to start on your forearms with your knees still on the ground. So we keep our knees on the ground, and we just go on our forearms. So this would be the easiest step, and it's a very good way to start for beginners. All you're looking out for is that your back is not super arched, so you're trying to tighten your abs a little bit, and your upper back is not super round. We're trying to keep our chest sticking out a little bit. So it's never gonna be perfectly straight, but we're trying to keep our back as straight as possible. Now, as that position becomes a little bit easier and you can progress to the harder steps, we can do the same thing, forearms, but now toes on the ground. So we go out to the same position, but now we go up on our toes. We're still not looking for a super arched back. We're trying to engage our core and keep our back straight, and then our upper back is not super round. We're trying to stick our chest out and keep our back nice and straight. If you want to go one step further, this one's a little bit more challenging. So same idea, but now we're going to go on our hands instead of our forearms. So we go like we're going to start a push-up, but now we go on our toes and hold our plank nice and straight. So it's a little bit harder, because now you're a little bit further off the ground and you have to stabilize a little bit more. Our next exercise is gonna be a side plank, and this one's really good for strengthening and toning up the side of our core. So it looks like a regular plank on our forearms, but we're going sideways. So you're up on one foot, the other foot on top of the other, and we're trying to balance. We don't want to have our hips drooping, and we don't want to have our hips up. We're trying to stay in a nice straight line all the way down. You can do whatever you want with your other arm, put it on your hip, stick it straight up in the air, whatever keeps you in balance. Just like the regular plank, on the side you can progress it a little bit harder as well. If it's too hard to start just with that, what you can do is spread your feet out to give yourself a little bit more balance instead of stacking your feet on top of each other. But if it's a little bit easy, you can go up on your hand and hold it that way. It's gonna be a little bit more challenging. You're gonna have to stay a little bit more stable through your core. Next exercise we're gonna look at is gonna really work the top of our core up here on your upper abs. So it's just a simple crunch. If you wanna do it legs bent, you can, or you can do it legs up in the air. Some people prefer like that. I prefer legs bent on the ground. When you're doing a crunch, you're just lifting the shoulder blades off the ground and coming back down. You don't have to go all the way up like a sit-up. You're just going up, shoulder blades off, shoulder blades down, shoulder blades off, shoulder blades down. Doing it slow and controlled is better instead of just going like this, because then you're gonna be using the momentum of your head to pull yourself up. Nice and slow, shoulder blades off the ground, shoulder blades back down. Shoulder blades off the ground, shoulder blades back down. Last one we're gonna look at, this one's really gonna target the lower portion of our abs, so right near our pelvis. Lie down flat on your back, hands either beside you or under your butt. First thing you wanna make sure is that you're not arching your back all the way, because this creates a bridge and it supports the weight of your legs. So you wanna press your back flat against the ground, squeeze your abs, then lift your legs about 6 inches, 10 centimeters off the ground, and then just do small kick. After doing a few, you should feel it start to tighten up right above your pelvis. Your lower abs are really gonna start burning after a while. A small variation you can make to the leg kicks to make it a little bit harder is, instead of kicking up and down, crisscross your legs, one on top of the other, alternating each side. This is even harder, and it's gonna work a little bit up on the side instead of just working underneath your abs. So when you're doing the plank and the side plank, you want to try to build it to hold as long as you can. There's no real time that's too much, because it's isometric, so you're not actually moving, you're just holding the muscle. You're never going to build too much muscle. So all you're going to do is lose weight and really tone up your midsection. Same goes for the crunches and the leg kicks. You can do as many as you want until you really feel the burn. So crunches anywhere from 25 and up is a good number to do in a row. Obviously you got to build to that point, but once you get there, you should be able to consistently do 25. And with the leg kicks, those you can do in sets of 100 because they're so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes by very quickly. So build your way up to about 100, and then you can do sets of 100. And just a note, I'm very sorry about all the background noise. You'll probably hear some banging and stuff throughout the video, but there's some people doing construction a few yards over. So not much I could do about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. These exercises should really help you guys get ready for the summer, because you'll tone up your legs and your core and get a little bit stronger. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Click the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos, and leave me a comment on any other exercises that you guys do to help stay in shape. I'll leave my Twitter and Instagram info below. You can start following me on there. I'm gonna try and post more regularly. Check out my last video with Alex where we tried some crazy Greek snacks. I think it's pretty funny. All right, so I hope everybody's having a really great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.